Hello, I'm John Sanderson and I serve as the priest in charge or pastor of St George's Peace Memorial Church in the garden suburb of East Ivanhoe. Like many of you, we here have been facing the challenges and the opportunities presented by COVID-19 and the restrictions placed on the mission and ministry of the church. Today we're going to meet a range of people who are prominent in our local community, those who serve as business people and politicians. And in our conversations we're going to seek to discern how the church may serve our broader Melbourne community as we journey through this time of pandemic.
And I find ministers should walk through the shopping centres, meeting people and talk to them, and not to swing them over to church, just to give them what there is out there. If they've got a problem or depression or anything, you're there to look after them, to talk to them, to comfort them. Where a lot of times I don't see any ministers around shopping centres or around streets or shops or small little shopping centres. Not just inside the church, we'd like to see our priests out in the open also, to mix with our local people. And people who don't go to church would love to see somebody to talk to them.
Look, having someone that's outside of your immediate life talk to you when you're just struggling. Maybe you got 2 kids and they're running amok at home and your partner's off at work or whatever it is. We've all got unique circumstances and challenges, and it's really nice to have someone we can just have a conversation with, somewhere we feel comfortable to go and just relax without. It's great to go to coffee shops, but at the same time it's a commercial transaction. There needs to be those places in the community that we can go, not feel that we need to move on. We can just relax, take time out, think things through and have those conversations in an unrushed environment. I think that's critical.
It's interesting to think what the church could do. I think there are quite a few people who are nervous about the effects of COVID-19 health-wise and what it might mean for their family and themselves. Having someone like the church around to help people make sense of what they're feeling and going through would be, it would lead that discussion. I think it's a community-based thing. I think the church could play a role of leading those discussions, but everybody needs to get on board and be part and support each other.
Well, when I think about the clergy reaching out and connecting within the community, I think what would be powerful is connecting with the less obvious. There might be obvious groups to connect with, but it's reaching out to the other less obvious and less prominent, and finding those diamonds out there, those people that are doing the work of community, and knowing that you can connect them at some point in time. And I think the challenge is reaching out to them, even if you don't know why, just simply to connect. Because my experience is that can feel awkward and it can feel difficult, but down the track it always pays dividends.
There are people who might be looking for your guidance, your support, your community, who actually haven't reached out to you before. So being open to that and being able to support the community more broadly than perhaps people who you've had immediate contact with might be a really important role for the church going forward. We do have tools that we can use these days. Social media is a great way to be able to talk to people, reach out to people, make connections, particularly when we can't get out and about as much as we could. I think obviously you must have a strength in your membership. So you have people who, while they're members of the church, would be members of other groups as well, and use them as your ambassadors for reaching out to the community more widely.
The churches like us at council, how do we get out there when we're used to people coming to us? Getting people online, Facebook or Zoom meetings, team meetings and all those sorts of things is certainly a step in the right direction, but we're also dealing with the elderly as well, how we get them connected. You might go back in time a bit where we used to put things in letterboxes and asking people if they need assistance, getting out there and so they know you're there as well. They can then contact you. Sometimes we don't believe everything's a modern technology. We can learn lessons in the past as well, and that's one of the ways of communicating.
We've spent some time listening to community leaders, local business operators, our councillors, our federal Member of Parliament and a senior executive from the Victorian Public Service, as they've shared and reflected with us on their journey through COVID-19. They've also shared with us what they see as the opportunity for the church in these times. My sense of their message is this: for the church to be physically present, unconditionally present in our communities in the weeks ahead, and in being present to seek to establish new connections across the breadth and depth of our communities. They also laid down a challenge to us to dare to fail, to try new methods, and to even go back to old-fashioned methods of visiting people and binding people together. COVID-19 may be a threat, but it also may be a glorious opportunity for the church to once more seek and serve the communities around us. When we listen and serve our communities, we make the presence of God known throughout this city and beyond.